Hello, my name is Jason Wetzel. I would like to begin by welcoming each one of you to my online class and tell you how exciting it is to begin another semester. Math is often a challenging subject for students, which makes an online math course even more challenging, so it's important for you to understand how this course is set up and exactly what is going to be expected of you. During this orientation video, I will give you an overview of MyMathLab, what you will use to complete all of your assignments. I will go through the course syllabus and I'll show you my website that has some additional resources available to you. But first, I'm going to try and talk you out of taking an online course. There are many advantages of taking an online course. It's a great alternative for students who cannot meet in the classroom each week. There's more flexibility since students can complete assignments at their own pace as long as they're completed before the scheduled due date. The MyMathLab software has many helpful features for students to learn the material, and students have the ability to work ahead and complete the entire course before the semester actually begins. However, these advantages can also be disadvantages. It is the student's responsibility to complete each assignment before the posted due date. The class does not meet each week in the classroom, which makes it easier for students to get behind in their work. It also means I never have the opportunity to observe any of my online students, so giving suggestions as to why they are not being successful is difficult. Students often enroll in an online course because they do not have time to attend class, but then they do not take into consideration the number of hours each week that will be required to complete the online assignments and come into campus to take the test. Some reasons to withdraw from this online course and take a traditional or hybrid course. You took an online course because you do not like math. You have always struggled with math. You think an online course is easier and or less work than a traditional course. You do not have enough time in your schedule to devote 8 hours or more each week to this course. You are a procrastinator. You do not manage your time wisely. You do not think to solve problems. You do not like to solve problems on your own. The average national withdrawal rate for an online class is right around 50%. So the MyMathLab software required for the class. The website, www.coursecompass.com. To register on MyMathLab, you'll need the following: a valid email address. Use an email address you check on a regular basis. All emails I send will go to this address. An access code. You will be asked to enter an access code you can purchase at the bookstore, or you'll be given an option to purchase one online when you register. A course ID. After you finish watching this orientation video, email me your name, course number, and section number requesting the course ID, and I'll send it to you within 24 hours. If you already have an account from a previous class using this textbook, you do not need to purchase another access code. However, if your account was from a class using a different textbook, you will need to purchase another access code. If an access code cannot be purchased at the beginning of the semester, a free 21-day trial period is available. The homework completed on MyMathLab. Homework assignments do not need to be completed all at once. You can start a homework assignment, save it, and finish working on it at a later date. There are infinitely many attempts for each homework problem. Therefore, everybody should have a 100% homework average at the end of the semester. Read each problem carefully and also pay attention to how it wants the answer entered. If you answer a correct answer in a form other than what is requested, it will be marked wrong. For example, if you do not reduce a fraction. Homework can be completed at any computer with internet access. Quizzes in MyMathLab. Each quiz must be completed in its entirety. Each quiz can be taken infinitely many times. After each attempt, you should review your mistakes to understand what you did wrong before your next attempt. However, many times you take the quiz, only the highest grade will count. Therefore, everybody should have a 100% quiz average at the end of the semester. Your quiz grades will let you know how well you know the material and if you are prepared to take the test. If you are doing well on the quizzes, you should expect to do well on the test. If you are not doing well on the quizzes, you should not expect to do well on the test. Quizzes can be completed at any computer with internet access as well. Tests. Tests must be completed at the assessment center or testing center on any Midlands Tech campus other than the Fairfield campus. It is the student's responsibility to complete each test before the scheduled due date and according to the assessment center's hours of operation. Each test can only be taken once. Students are allowed to review their test after the due date for the test has passed, and a graphing calculator is allowed for each test with the exception of a TI-89. The key to being successful in any class is simply doing the work. The homework and quiz averages tell me how much time and effort a student is putting into the class. I categorize my students' grades from last semester into whether they made an A, B, or C, whether they made a D or an F, or whether they had to withdraw from the course. When I looked at their homework and quiz averages, it shows that the students who do well on the homework and quizzes typically pass the course. The students who do not do well on the homework and quizzes typically did not do well in the course. I always tell my students you are going to get out of the course exactly what you put into it. So let's go ahead and take a look at MyMathLab now. This is the home page for MyMathLab. Off here on the right is where you'd register or set up a new account, obviously as a student. Once you do that, it will automatically list the course here on the left hand side once you log in. I have obviously a number of classes listed here. I'm just going to choose one to show you what it looks like. So go to the home page for that class. It'll have a number of links here on the left hand side. Most of them are pretty self-explanatory. The homework, quizzes and tests. You have a grade book here. You can determine or look at your current average in the class at any certain time or any specific time. The textbook is available online. You can go to any chapter, any page in the textbook and read that chapter, read the section if you need to review something or whatever the case may be. So the homework link, all the homework for the entire course will be already listed here. Next to each assignment, it will give you its due date. Quizzes and tests. You see all the quizzes are listed here as well. The tests have to be completed at the assessment center, so they are password protected. When you go to the assessment center, they will type in the password, giving you access to the test. So other than that, MyMathLab is pretty self-explanatory. If you haven't used it before, just like anything, it'll take a little bit of practice, but most students that want to learn are willing to put in the time and effort, really like all the features available on MyMathLab for learning the material. Other resources available to you to be successful are my website, www.wetzelmath.com, where you'll find class notes or outlines, videos, and some other useful tools. Free tutoring is available on campus at the Student Success Center. So we'll go ahead and take a look at my personal website. If you go to the home page, it has my contact information, my office hours, times I'll be in or around my office where you can stop in for questions or extra help. If you click at Math 102, you'll see a link to the pre-registration page. You should have when you register for the class. See links to the course syllabus. And then also, you'll see the notes posted for each section that we cover along with videos. Now I'm constantly updating this content, making changes to the notes, the videos, and as you can see, I'm in the process of recreating a lot of the videos, but I will have these up and going in the near future. We want to take a minute and look at the syllabus for the course. So if you click on the online syllabus, it's going to be your responsibility to read the syllabus carefully, make sure you clearly understand all the information on it, all the rules and procedures that pertain to the course. I'm just going to hit on the main ideas, the main topics here in this video. Obviously this is Math 102 Intermediate Algebra. The prerequisite for this class is Math 101 or an appropriate placement score. It goes through my contact information again, my schedule, office hours. You should already know what you need for the textbook. The course is based on the Woodbury textbook, 3rd edition, but as you know, the textbook is not required for the class. Calculator certainly is. Now, we won't be using a calculator every day, but you will need one from time to time. Homework will require certain problems in the homework will require one, and a graphing calculator will always be allowed. The department recommends a TI-84. but pretty much any graphing calculator should work other than a TI-89. You will be able to use a graphing calculator on all of the tests that you have to take at the assessment center, with the exception of a TI-89. So on your own, you can read through the course objectives. What I want to hit on real quick is basically an attendance policy, which is kind of ironic for an online course. But there is things you have to do to let me know that you're still participating in the class. The first one is an orientation quiz. After you complete this orientation video, once you set up your account on MyMathLab, the first assignment will be an orientation quiz where you must have completed with a score of 100 by the specified due date here. It'll be the end of the first week of the semester. If you do not complete the orientation quiz by the specified due date with a grade of 100%, you will be reported as a no-show for the class, which means you will be withdrawn from the class. Other ways I, as the instructor, will withdraw you from the class is if you go 15 days, a period of 15 days, without working on any assignments in MyMathLab, or if you miss 2 tests. If you miss 1 test, you can still get through the course just fine, but if you miss a second test, you will be withdrawn from the course. You always have the option to withdraw yourself from the course by filling out a course withdrawal form. Whether you withdraw yourself from the course or I have to withdraw you, if it's before midterm, you'll receive a W on your transcript, which does not affect your GPA. After midterm, if you're withdrawn, you will receive a W if you're passing the course, but a WF if you're failing the course, which will affect your GPA. Like I said, you can skim through the rest of this section here on the syllabus. The next thing I want to get to is hit on real quick the course requirements. You already know, obviously this is an online class. We already talked about MyMathLab, the assignments, homework, quizzes, and tests, how they're set up. But as far as the grading policy, your final grade for the course is basically made up of 700 points. All the homework that you do on MyMathLab is worth 50 points. All the quizzes you do on MyMathLab is worth 50 points. Your 5 chapter unit tests done at the assessment center on campus, each one is worth 100 points, and then at the end of the semester you have a departmental cumulative final exam worth 100 points as well. Every assignment will be graded as soon as you complete it in MyMathLab, and there's a grading book in MyMathLab that will tell you your current average at any point in time. As far as final grades for the course, it'll just be a letter grade based on the standard 10-point system. Now, there are no makeups. There's no extensions to any assignments. If any assignment is not completed by the specified due date, it will be a 0. If you happen to miss one test throughout the semester, that just means at the end of the semester, your final exam will replace that 0. Everybody has the opportunity for their final exam to count twice at the end of the semester. So if you miss one test, your final exam at the end will replace that 0, will count twice. If you've taken off 5 tests and your final exam is higher than any one of your other 5 test grades, it'll replace the lowest test grade. That policy can only help your average at the end of the semester. Once again, I would like to welcome each of you to the class. Now that you know more about the class and how it's set up, you should determine if you still want to take an online class, reread the course syllabus posted on my website, and set up your account in MyMathLab and begin working on the orientation quiz. Good luck!